Murderers! Murderers! Assassins! You! What planet is this?
The best TOS episode. One of the best in Trek history. One of the best episodes of television ever created. You might think that not much more can be said about City on the Edge of Forever, but I beg to differ. There is one thing that I think is too often overlooked and never given due respect, and that is DeForest Kelley's performance and the importance it has on making this episode work so well. From madness to emotional power, City on the Edge of Forever is not the same without McCoy. If you agree, get ready for a full Nerds analysis as we break down McCoy's role in not just the plot, but the story's theme and the power of that ending. And if you don't agree, then roast me in the comments now.
These are the majestic flights of the dung beetle. Its ongoing mission: to harvest dung and spew it forward in the form of crappy reviews.
We all remember how the plot gets kicked off. Kirk and Spock aren't going to jump in a time portal willy-nilly, no matter how enticing it is to us the viewers. So we need a doggone good reason. But fear not, in TOS, we can always find a good reason to disregard the Prime Directive. Enter Leonard McCoy. Whoever came up with the double karate chop needs an Emmy, and it simply must be accompanied by the orchestra crescendo. In a cartoonish beginning that stands as a polar opposite to what this episode will become, McCoy gets the accidental injection and goes bananas. I've always enjoyed the hammy performance here. You can't help but feel the fun DeForest Kelley is having playing the lunatic version of McCoy. And the lines written for him are pure gold.
Biped. Good cranial development. No doubt considerable human ancestry.
With McCoy AWOL, the plot is now set in motion. Kirk and Spock have no choice but to step through the time portal, return the country doctor to the present, and reset the universe back to its comfortable, episodic status quo. So yes, the plot hinges around McCoy, but we all know this is a Spock, Kirk, and Edith Keeler show. What follows in Depression-era Earth is an amazing drama. Not just a show with some nice fish-out-of-water comedy, but return-to-home suspense and one of the most clever time-traveling conundrums ever written, probing the bold theme of the amazing ripple effect and power which our own actions can hold. Spock offers clever scientific ingenuity and drives that time-traveling conundrum theme, while Kirk and Keeler build to the emotional gut punch of the century. All while McCoy takes a back seat during this section. Yes, McCoy got us here, but by the middle of the episode, he feels like nothing more than a hollow plot device. And maybe that's fair to say about the whole episode. But I have a different take, one that I ask you to entertain. In my opinion, DeForest Kelley is given the linchpin line of dialogue that delivers the whole core meaning of this episode home to brilliant resolution.
I could have saved her. Do you know what you just did?
That line is loaded with irony, and it is irony which McCoy gives the story through that seemingly idle middle section for his character. As he is discovered by Edith, McCoy has no knowledge of his whereabouts, his travel into the past, or the proximity of his shipmates. Miss Keeler, and we the audience, do know these things, and she is the bridge between that gap. We know these parties are going to reunite, but the circumstances of that reunion and the deeds, good or ill, which will take place are unknown to us, and we're on the edge of our seats to discover. The fact that all of these things resolve within a literal heartbeat adds to the intense power of the ending. the great implications of affecting the timeline, the relationship between Kirk and Keeler and McCoy, Spock's ingenious scheming. One moment, all of it is in dreadful balance. The next, all of it is in shocking resolve. We were prepared. We knew this was likely to happen.
Jim, Edith Keeler must die.
Nobody thought it'd be like this. In this split-second scene is encapsulated in one powerful line by Leonard McCoy.
Deliberately stopped me, Jim. I could have saved her. Do you know what you just did?
The irony given through McCoy's ignorance to his whereabouts and the danger to the universe's timeline pays off in demonstrating the incredible emotional hardship for Kirk to make that split-second decision to hold back Bones. For Jim, amends for his mistake of saving Edith earlier. Those cutting words by McCoy are then felt to the marrow, and Spock's follow-up speaks a chorus united from every person who's watched this episode.
He knows, Doctor. He knows.
He knows indeed. That single line delivery by DeForest Kelley should not be underestimated. In my opinion, out of every piece of dialogue from any character, these are the words that matter the most. It's the point in the script where you'd want your best actor to be, or to have your best performance show up. True to original series form, it makes perfect sense for McCoy, of all characters, to deliver this emotional line. The interplay between our three series stars, Spock, Bones, and Kirk, is the heartbeat of TOS. This episode perfectly captures the balance of the three characters playing equally powerful roles in a story while providing unique commentary from the differences in their three characters. Spock sees the logic in setting time in order. McCoy is the emotional side, saving an individual's life. And Kirk is informed by both his dear friends and knows on the road in between lies some imperfect truth. In this episode, that truth is about as imperfect as it gets. Spock's logic is accurate. McCoy's humanity cuts deeper than a guillotine. I Could Have Saved Her captures an hour of fantastic TV drama wrestling with the nuances of choice versus consequence, logical versus emotional, and the multi-layered depth of a tragic moment too large to imagine. Now on the flip side, maybe you think McCoy's role in City on the Edge of Forever is nothing more than a glorified she's dead Jim moment. Maybe you're right, but if you are, that's the best she's dead Jim moment in television history. The meaning is crafted through a great story, the vital delivery executed with a perfect animation from DeForest Kelley. I say, of all the things we duly celebrate City on the Edge of Forever for, DeForest Kelley's performance, ranging from the funny fantastic to the deeply grim, needs to climb that hierarchy. It is my favorite McCoy episode, in an episode that isn't even his. City on the Edge of Forever would go on to win a Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation, an accomplishment Star Trek would not repeat until TNG's Road Not Taken, but actually taken, standout, The Inner Light. Speaking of that, for more takes on Trek, catch my full nerds analysis of The Inner Light right here. Journey onward. Beetle, make it so.